Hi, how are you today? The improved package has arrived. We're having it fitted in time for FP1. Have a look at the factory report.
Welcome to the Baku City Circuit, where free practice for the European Grand Prix is about to get underway. This is a technical circuit which will nonetheless see some huge speeds, with a near flat-out final sector that's twice the length of the back straight in Shanghai. Let's see who can find the right balance in their setup today. A warm welcome once again to the man standing beside me in the commentary box for this session, Anthony Davidson. Hello, Ant. Excited to get underway?
Yeah, absolutely. I always look forward to seeing the cars get out there on track. And they probably won't be on the limit immediately, of course. We know that one or two of the teams are looking to do some work on new aerodynamic packages, so that always takes some time to get into. But it'll be really interesting to see later on in the session what kind of performance gains are there to be found.
Once you're comfortable with the position through the corner, then start moving up the speed. Stuff. You've pretty much nailed this circuit. This is a really strong foundation to build from over the weekend.
An interesting practice session there then. Let's remind ourselves of the top three, who are Hamilton, Verstappen and Kimi Räikkönen. Thank you for joining us for free practice today. We'll be back with more Formula One action very shortly. quick look at the classification at the end of the session then. Here are your top three: Ricciardo, Hamilton and Kimi Räikkönen. Thank you for joining us for free practice today. We'll be back with more Formula One action very shortly.
You were especially good to the tyres that lap. Right, we're managing the pace well, and that last lap was easier on the tyres than we anticipated. Program complete. Good work. Head on back to the garage and we'll start going over the data. Time moves you into P7.
As all the cars are now over the line, your top three again are Hamilton, Rosberg and Kimi Räikkönen. That's it for practice then. We'll see you again soon.
Hi, just letting you know that we've had the team's expectations through for the upcoming qualifying session.
The circuit has rubbered in with practice, but this is still going to be a difficult session for our drivers as they fight for pole position. Welcome to qualifying here in Azerbaijan. This is the kind of track that eats rear tyres for breakfast, or so I'm told by more experienced drivers than myself.
No matter how good a driver is at managing their throttle application to limit rear slip, they can't always overcome a car that's inherently bad at looking after its rear tyres. Here we have a lot of low-speed corner exits, which means a whole load of energy, heat and tyre wear.
best lap so far is a 1 minute 42. We have 2 laps of fuel remaining. Fernando is currently P5.
Grid is all set then for the race tomorrow. But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top 3, who are Hamilton and McLaren and Sebastian Vettel. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow, where we'll be live with all the action. And until then, it's goodbye.
Hey, how are you? I have some information on the race goals you should keep in mind.
Who would have imagined in those pioneering days of motor racing just how far and wide the love of speed and competition would spread? From Brands Hatch to Jerez to Valencia, the European Grand Prix has made its home all across the continent. And now a new era of this storied race brings us here, to the edge of the Caspian Sea. With 20 turns and a length of 3.7 miles, Baku City Circuit in the heart of the Azerbaijan capital is a real test of a driver's endurance, patience and precision. 90-degree corners through Sector 1 lead into a tightening uphill sprint as we start to circle around the old city. Then a 1.4-mile chase flat out through Sector 3 towards the finish line. Anthony Davidson joins me today as we look ahead to something just a little bit different. It's quite high speed for a street circuit here, isn't it? Do you think that's going to throw up any unexpected situations?
Well, as long as the teams can keep everything cool, I don't foresee any particular big issues from a technical side of things. I do expect the track to be quite slippery though. We've not exactly had much chance to rubber in the surface. Any street circuit also comes with its own challenges, so I think we'll be seeing a few mistakes here and there. The smart strategy would be to expect a safety car, I think, especially early on when the pack is bunched up.
Your objective today is to get into the top 5.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and a McLaren alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Rosberg, Ricciardo, Sergio Perez, and Kvyat, Verstappen, Vettel, Alonso and Kimi Raikkonen, Massa, Hülkenberg, Carlos Sainz and Bottas, Grosjean, Wehrlein, Esteban Gutierrez and Marcus Ericsson, Nasser and Palmer, Rio Haryanto and Kevin Magnussen rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights. safety car is out. The safety car is out. We need to form up and reduce the pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive. Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace. distance to the leader is 2.8 seconds. Hamilton's out in front. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the super softs. Is looking really good. You're managing it well. Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach, and make sure you don't speed. gap to first place is 14.1 seconds. We think there's a viable strategy change available to us. Would you like to keep to the current plan or try the new one? We have extra fuel available to us. Turn up the engine if you need it. Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags. Gap behind is 3.1 seconds. Okay, gap ahead is 2.9 seconds. Gap to car in front is 13.7 seconds. The gap to the car behind is 6.3 seconds. The car behind's tyres are in much better condition than yours. We'll keep an eye on the times. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. We're only a second away from the car ahead. Let's see if we can use DRS to pass it. Fernando has come into the pits. Okay, gap to leader, 26.4 seconds. The gap to teammate is 17.3 seconds. The gap to the car ahead is 3.1 seconds. Okay, the gap behind is 2.2 seconds. circuit remaining. Some information on Palmer. It seems they fixed whatever the problem was. They're coming back up to speed. Some information on Baku. It looks like the problem is terminal. And they're timing the car. The gap to the car ahead is 8.1 seconds. The gap behind us is 3.0 seconds. Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead. You're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Keep pushing. To be slow. Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags. The gap to the car behind is 2.2 seconds. Gap to the car in front is 7.4 seconds. This is your final lap of the race. Pretty much burned off all that excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down. Okay, some information on Rosberg. They've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring. Well done, good finish. You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
Brilliant stuff from Mercedes today. That's another historic win. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly. We've seen teams in the past throw away wins because they were too hesitant, but here they were decisive, and that's allowed them to take the advantage.
So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It's a good result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Moving on to the Driver of the Day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
It's got to be Rio Haryanto. He was in another league for me today. Really impressive stuff.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improve their position in the championship. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. It's a good result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I'm giving Driver of the Day to Rio Haryanto. He's pushed and he's found some fantastic performance. He was an absolute pleasure to watch today.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improve their position in the championship. There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.